Hey everybody, it's Mark Powers, your host of Imagine Better. And today, I am honored, I am grateful. This is what awesome looks like, guys. Mr. Shawn Lee himself, and by the way, it's his birthday.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
Rock that. Thank you, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming to the show. He is live in studio here in Rochester, Michigan.
Rochester. Yeah, man. This is cool, dude. I love the setup. I love
Thank
the
you.
gigs, man. I am so happy to be on. This is episode 6.
Yeah, we're
Right.
just getting started. We're going to transform all kinds of lives.
Rock that. I know that's right. Let's get it. Let's get it.
And I tell you, today, again, it's your 49th birthday.
49. You ain't got to tell everybody all my business.
29th birthday. And he had this, I was, just doing some double checks on his social profiles today and his website, and I noticed this special that he had.
Yes.
And I myself needed some new headshots. So, I signed up for this professional, uber awesome photographer here to make this wreck look better.
Oh, dude, you are freaking beautiful.
Beautiful beast. I had a little boo-boo on my chin, so I'm dealing with that now.
It's okay. We'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Rock that.
It's healing.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's like our souls. We go through life traumas and changes, and it heals. So does our boo-boos.
So do our boo-boos.
So tell the world that doesn't know you, because everyone in Detroit knows who the heck Shawn Lee is. In case people find us on YouTube and stuff, who are you? What's your shtick in life?
Dude, I do a lot of stuff, man. I am a creative. I'm a photographer. And I will say, and I'll add that to that. And I absolutely love people. And so it drives a great deal of what I do. Right. So by day, my superpower is photography. It's how I take care of my family, how I make money, all of the good things, good stuff. But I absolutely love people. And so I do a lot of projects geared around people, next generation, investment in people. Yeah. And believe it or not, Mark, because I love people, it has actually augmented and really helped my business authentically, right?
Yeah.
In a real way, right? So they go hand in hand. Didn't plan on it that way,
right?
But it goes hand in hand.
Go figure, right?
Yeah, rock that, right? I'm not complaining. You know what I mean?
No. That's awesome.
So yeah, man, that's how that goes. I guess that's what we're here to talk about.
We're going to talk about empowering the next generation. I mean,
yes.
And what better guy to talk about this through the lens, through the lens of the world. You get to see things a lot different than a lot of people, and help shape that moment for that client, that customer, that human, and then I love to hear the perspective. You don't have to do it right now, but as we get in our conversation. You're behind this camera, and that you're here transforming this individual's moment for anything, current and future. Brand personality, represent whatever they're using that for. But I'm curious to how do you take that same mindset and transition that to life transformation?
That it's easy. You know what? When you see people, when people look at it like we're creatives. I'm a photographer. Oh, Shawn, you're just a photographer. No, actually, I see people's most vulnerable moments. Right. The thing people fear the most is the camera, how they appear to the world.
Right.
And people they go through great trauma, worrying about how they appear to the world.
Right.
And so when I am behind the lens and I see people, I see all of the nervousness, I see everything, because they think this is the one shot. Yeah. And so it becomes my job to not just be a photographer, but to make sure I paint the picture of who they will be to the world.
Right.
And in doing that, I have to have a skill set in people. I have to make sure that people are relaxed. I have to understand who they are. I have to understand their business. I have to understand what they want to accomplish. And then what we do is we craft the image, or we create the photograph that speaks for them when they're not there for them to speak for themselves. It's
love that.
It really is a skill set in understanding people and what they're going through, and because it's important to them. Folks, business and livelihood is important to them. How the world views them is very important to them.
Yeah.
And we were joking earlier, we talk about boo-boos, right, on the chin.
Yeah.
But that stuff is also important, right? And so making sure that we present the very best person.
Yeah.
On their very, even if they're not having the greatest day.
Right.
To make sure that we present the very best
right
option of who they are in that particular picture.
And you know what's interesting about that? I mean, a lot of people would say, and he's not just a photographer, guys. This guy is like, he's the machine. He also is, you know, I got to cheat here and look because I don't remember everything, but you're an industry influencer in photography.
Yes.
You teach photography. You hold workshops, I want to say, in photography.
Yeah.
You're all part of everything TEDx and part of the Detroit TEDx.
Yes.
Yes, you know,
all of the stuff, man. So
this guy has like Humanitarian award. What's his HRUnite about?
HRUnite is the HR space, and it's run by Tina Marie Woolfield.
Okay.
But I've been in because I do motivational speaking, and the HR space deals with people.
Yeah.
I was brought in to fire up some folk, and I've kind of been a part of that space ever since.
Nice.
And we'll talk about that a little bit because I have a conference called Disrupt HR Detroit.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah, so that'll be going on in October. So we can talk about that even a little bit and get people through to that. But man, what I found is that as a creative, I'm able to enter into these different spheres and impact people. And so I've just always learned, man, that when you enter a space or you enter somebody's world, make sure that it's better when you leave than it was when you got there. And so it's about service.
See, I love that because if you think about photography, you guys, again, he sees this world probably a little different than us. Meaning he sees you and me differently. He sees our best, right? You're going to creatively come up with a better version of ourselves. And guess what happens over time in terms of transacting and every aspect of your life, our lives, is that Shawn's going to help cultivate what he envisions, helps you with your mindset. So that moment, like you said, that person might have a you know, maybe got a speeding ticket on the way to the shoot, or yelled at by his parents or whomever, whatever happened. There was a moment that morning that offset that individual.
Yeah.
So now you're going to get that person's mindset reshaped.
Yeah.
Now they look good, right?
That's
So
right.
your final production is going to make them look amazing. Well, guess what that does?
Right.
What happens when people go to the gym and they start seeing transformation? They
That's
feel
right.
good. They look good. Their
That's
mindset's
right.
good.
That's the truth.
You're shaping minds. You're shaping how people, and maybe most people don't think about it that way. But I think in photography and your approach to it, I really see that. It's giving people the confidence.
Thank you. It really is about that. You got to love people. You got to care about people. And we don't just take imagery because anybody can stand in front of a camera and you get a shutter button and you get whatever it is that you get.
Right.
It really is about preparation.
Right.
And preparation is getting to know the client and what their bad days are or what the things that happen and guiding them towards a point and then helping them to also art direct their own image.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And believe that narrative that we just created.
Yes.
That surrounds this image, right? We do that for not just people, we do that for businesses, companies, brands, restaurants, right? Whatever it is. And when you see great imagery, what people automatically think, right? When they see a professional, well-executed photograph, they believe that about you.
I agree with that. You know, a question I have for you. Sorry, I'm fighting this allergy thing.
That's all.
What was your aha moment for photography to say, you know what, this is why I want to do it?
When you see the response to people, when you see, I saw a lady. I will tell you my aha moment. I shoot tethered, and what that means is I'm connected to a screen on the wall as I'm photographing. It helps the clients to see the quality of what they're getting before they leave the studio, right? And so I photographed a lady where we had gone through a great deal of preparation, stuff that she was absolutely scared of. Like getting hair done was not a thing that she normally did. Getting makeup done was not a thing that she normally did. But we talked through that entire process.
Yes.
She wasn't sure, didn't know, but was willing to trust me. Nice. And so she went through that process, got all of that done. We got in studio. She was absolutely nervous as all outdoors. And then I took a photograph. Right, and the image came up on the screen, and when it came up on the screen, she immediately started weeping because this was the person that she saw. She couldn't believe that this was that person, and all it took was some preparation and guidance, right? to who she was. This is who you are. And she started saying, who is this person? Well, it's you. The person is you. We didn't sneak anybody in here in front of the camera, right? And so that became the aha moment for me, is that I'm not just a photographer. We actually guide people and hold their hand through the process.
Yeah.
Of who they actually are, or the potential of who they can be, not just for that particular photograph, but for who their life is coming up.
Yeah. See, I love that. I love that because to me, and again, what I'm trying to do with Imagine Better is really be a resource and a guidance for anybody out there that's experiencing a life challenge. And bringing guests like you on this show that have an interesting perspective, the ability to guide and help somebody, whether it's through your talent of photography, your motivation, or your speaking engagements. So it's interesting to see what you just said there is she looks and she didn't recognize herself. Like, who is this person? She was shocked. Think about that. When someone's going through change, okay, there's a couple levels of change. And Jacob Brown and I had this discussion on his episode. It was like, there's surface level change. I'm going to get a gym membership and I'm going to make an effort to change. And then a month later, I just don't go anymore, right? But I had that's change. I went through it and then I decided to go back to my old habits.
Yes.
Then there's transformational change, digging deep in the soul.
Yes.
Okay? It's like when through your talent, you're showing them who they really are, right? You're transforming them right in front of their eyes, which gives them the boost of confidence.
Yes.
Gives them the internal aha, I've got this, man. Yep. I can be this person. I just got to apply it. So you know what you do to me? You know what you're saying to me? I'm seeing you as, here's Shawn, everybody. He motivates and he activates individuals through his work.
It's a process.
That's how I see it.
That's so true. It can actually, and actually, I had to be careful with that because it can also shock people. It can shock the crap out of people. Like this, oh my God, who is this person? I've had that happen before too. But it's been more good than it has been that side of it. And really, what it is that it jumpstarts people into, I can become this person. Yeah. Here's the regimen that it takes. And so I've had people from that point forward start making regular hair appointments.
Oh, really?
And going to classes and learning how to apply maybe their own makeup. And I've made suggestions on maybe you should get this color suit coat because it goes with the shirt that you have, and try this. And people have gone out and they've bought sport coats and it has become a part of their brand. Yeah. Right. And who they are because of who they have become just for an image. Right. Yeah. They see themselves as more than what they were before.
Absolutely.
So it's been pretty cool, man. Rock that.
I love your sayings too. You have a couple. Hold on. You just tell me. Rock that's one.
Rock that's the main one. I always say bring the pain.
Bring the pain.
Rock that money. Y'all ain't ready.
Right.
It's just my motivation. It's rock that is my term for making life happen. Right. And can I tell you how it started?
Please. I was actually going to just ask you that.
So my journey has been an interesting journey. My journey to professional photography, to speaking, the whole nine. I started out in the warehousing world. I drove a forklift truck.
Okay.
I loaded trucks for 12 years of my life. And during Christmas time in that industry, during the season at Christmas time, we had to unload like 40 53-foot trailers a day.
Oh my goodness.
And back then we could not stop. Every truck had to be unloaded before we left. That means that sometimes there were 8-hour days, but sometimes there were 16-hour days. We couldn't leave.
Oh wow.
And so every truck was unloaded. So the warehouse was a block long, and so we would be unloading trucks. It'd be 2 forklifts on a truck at a time, constantly going back and forth, mashing the gas pedal. We'd be getting cramps in our legs, and we had a guy who would stand in the middle of the warehouse. It was a block long, right? Yeah. And we would motivate each other, and he'd be like, run that, and we'd be
I love that.
Back and forth all day long. And what it taught me is that failure wasn't an option. We could not stop until every single truck was unloaded. Didn't matter what was going on. That was the job. And we had to do it. Run That became Rock That. And the concept is that I would see bands on television, rock bands, punk bands on the stage, right? Do a set, break the guitars on the stage, right? Jump in the mosh pit, right? And as a young black kid, I'd be like, why are they breaking totally good guitars, brand new guitars on the stage? But I later understood it to mean that they were sold out to it. Money, we are leaving it all on the stage. We're breaking the guitars on the stage. And for the next show, we just gonna have to get new guitars.
Right.
But today, Money, we breaking the guitars on the stage. We jumping in the mosh pit, right? And this show, we putting everything in. That for me was rock. That was rock that. In other words, we not stopping until it's done. We're going to break the guitars on the stage and we jumping in the mosh pit. And Money, we not stopping until it's done. And the next day, we just going to have to get brand new guitars, right? That was rock that. Failure is not an option. And so I'm going to put it all out there. I'm not cutting any shorts and we not stopping for no reason at all.
I love it.
That's rock that.
That sounds like an apparel line.
Yeah.
Rock that.
Yeah.
Coming to you soon from Mr. Shawn Lee.
Well, yeah.
You kind of do. Yeah, you do. Okay.
Yeah, we do have a rock that.
I didn't know that. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, we have.
Well, there you have
stuff. So rock that.
Do you guys have any comments? Drop in the comments, please. We'd love to. If you have questions, anything. Just we want to keep this conversation going and be as engaged as possible. And if there's something you want to learn about photography. And how that actually can help transform your life in that perspective, reach out, drop us a comment. I'll get Shawn here to respond. But man, this is So I think when your speaking engagements, like what are those typically about?
Well, rock that energy that I bring to every session that I do. I'm a good. So let me say it like this, right? I am a good old fashioned church boy. I love people. Yeah. And so one little known fact that people wouldn't know is that I've led praise and worship for 30 years of my life, right? So I've sang, right? And so I've always been the guy motivating people in church.
You said you sang?
Sang.
You got to drop me a verse.
No, I am not.
Put him on the spot.
You are not going to put me on the spot on
I had to ask that.
Not gonna happen today.
All right. Hey, can't blame you for trying, man.
Oh no, we might do it on the 19th or so. When the episode drops later. But no, you ain't. Yeah, you caught me totally off guard. I got to do my la 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 la.
Well, hey, there you have it. That's awesome.
But so I've always spoken in front of people.
Yeah.
And so when I started teaching in the industry of photography, when I started doing these platform classes, I was one of the few African Americans speaking at the highest level in the world. And so I wanted to make sure that people remembered who I was. And I was very passionate about people, passionate about doing this thing of photography. So I went with a great ton of energy, man. And by the time my sets were done, by the time my speaking engagements were done, I would always have a crowd of people around the table asking questions and wanting to learn more. And so it just kind of grew and grew and grew from there. And then everything we did was service-based. So the energy that I actually had for the success of people. And so somehow I had broken through and was one of the few men of color on highest stages. I said that I was going to open up doors for people.
Okay.
Right? And so everything that we did up until that point, we did for people. I did my very first conference called the Rock That Photography Conference and Trade Show. And what we did was very innovative. We made it free for every single person to come. We did a super high level conference.
Oh, nice.
We brought in some of the best talent from around the world, who are some of the best top photographers on the globe. We brought them to Detroit for free, and we had 3 days of instruction. We had motor coaches and photo walks and closing parties and opening receptions and classrooms in top-notch hotels. And
you went all out.
And we did it absolutely free. It was something that had never been done before, but it was done totally and completely for the investment in people in the industry of photography. And it was groundbreaking and innovative what we did, and it lit a firestorm in the industry.
So it's interesting because I hear a lot of people talk about, first of all, congratulations, because that is awesome. And the fact that you made it for free. And provided that much value into something so important to these individuals attending that's so amazing for you to do that. So, but you know what's interesting is too, when I see conferences, when you go there, you get excited, you get motivated, you learn, you get inspired. How do you activate post conference? Like, what's the process in your experience? You know, is there any follow up? Are there any opportunities for coaching? I mean, what's that? How do you keep that audience that showed up? What was it? 3 days?
3 days.
You know, because that's what I always carry. That's also the hard part, right? Because we're human. We're human.
It is, but it's community. It is literally. It can't be about the conference. It has to be about the community.
Okay, perfect.
So it's building a community of people where there are constant touch points going on.
I love that.
And so that is through social communities. That is through websites. That is through constant training. That is through opportunities to connect and do not just learning opportunities that are in person, but also social opportunities that are in person. So we'll all get together and gather and go watch the newest movie that's coming out, right? And it keeps people connected, because what I learned is that we are, like our community, we are photographers, but we are people first.
Right.
And so people suffer through stuff. There are deaths in the family. They go through sickness. And in those times, nobody cares about photography, right? You care about your community and your community showing support.
Right.
And so we actually serve the individual person. We come together because photography is what we do, and we learn that, and we are inundated with that, but we also love the individual.
That's beautiful. And the friendships that you're developing out of that community must be amazing.
Yes,
Lifelong.
Absolutely. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. So for this organization called the Professional Photographers of America, PPA, right? They have 35,000 members in 54 countries. And so I've kind of led inclusion efforts for that organization, right? So my job, I'm a black dude. Surprise!
What?
Yeah.
I thought I just had extra light on
just in case nobody knew that. But it's my job. Watch this, to make sure everybody is covered. So that means that I have to step outside of my comfort zone and get to know different cultures of people.
Yeah.
When we have our diversity meetings, right, I have to learn the names of people, and I do that, and I work really hard at that, because it's important. It's who they are, and that respect is important, and it helps you to learn different cultures, different ways of people. It helps you to be more inclusive, and it helps you to value people as a whole.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the family grows, and the more you do that, the more color and ways and culture start to fade away, and you start to love the individual people for who they are.
God, I love that. Well stated.
That is family. That's family, and that is the strength of, I believe, what my mission is, right, in life. I'm not just a creative. I'm not just a photographer, but I believe it's my job, my calling, and my gift to bring people together, high or low, no matter every color in between, young, old, to bridge all of those gaps. And when we start to do that, we'll find that we have more in common than we don't.
So here's a new tagline, right? I'm loving this. I wish the world right now could like see and hear and embrace this message. Just like stop the divide and let the communities thrive.
That's it. That's good. I like that. Stop the divide. Yes,
there you go, my friend.
I love it. And you know what though? It's we have, and it's easy. Well, it's easy and it's hard, right? It's easy because if you want to see change, then just go change it.
Right.
It literally is that easy. People think that it's hard. It's not. Now, what makes it difficult is that when you do go to change, it's a heavy lift, because so far I was the only one for a long time.
Right.
Right. And so I have to take people that are up here and people that are down here who dwell in these areas for years and have to start to pull them together. And that becomes a difficult part when you're doing it by yourself. Right. But you have to believe in the mission, right? And you have to believe in it so much, even if you're thrown under the bus pushed against, railed against, whatever. You have to believe in it enough to keep going and keep doing it until you start to see the fruit of it.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, what's beautiful about this is today's topic, empowering the next generation.
Yes.
So that youth market,
Yes.
that's got to be huge for you.
Yes. Yes. I believe this to my core. And I used to mentor in school district in Southfield. So I love youth. So let me preface it by saying I absolutely love people. I love youth, right? I just believe you don't throw people away. I don't care. I don't care what it is that they're going through. I don't care what they've done. You don't throw people away, right? And so you invest in them. And so I used to tell adults all the time in the school system district, whether they were administrators, teachers, parents, that if our youth fail,
right,
it is because we have failed them.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Because kids don't raise themselves, adults do, right?
Right.
And so if they don't have what they need, it's because we haven't provided it for them. We haven't pushed, right? Success has to be the mandate. It can't be an option.
Right.
Right. And so with that mindset, I want to leave an industry, right? God willing, I live to be 90 plus years old in this felt sexy body you see before you right now, right?
That's right. He's almost. It's getting hot in here, guys.
As I'm sitting here with my stomach sucked in, right?
We need some fans over here, please. I love that.
But no, God willing, like I live to be 90. But
Right.
I want to hand down an industry. I want to hand down something to the next generation of youth that understand give back, who understand that they are cared for, who can then take that and also reciprocate that back into society, right? The concept of seeding back into, that's stuff that we need to teach, it's stuff that we need to invest in, and I believe that the stuff that we're building now is not for us, it's for our kids to be able to take over, and to be responsible for and over.
Yeah, and that comes with a lot of work, though, too, right? That responsibility isn't just handed off, and you just, you got to apply.
Absolutely.
All of us, that is. If you guys agree with this, I'd love to hear your comments. Drop them below. Let's keep this conversation going. And I'm loving this. I mean, this is eye-opening. This is refreshing to hear. Every time I have a guest on this show, I myself go, oh my God, I'm an idiot. I need to embrace that more than I already do. Or I learned something new today. And I mean, that's why I love this. It's just, thank you, because this opens my eyes to a little bit more. And I like to see, like, you're a busy man. You're, you have a family. You have a business. You're just on the go. How do you do it?
Hey man, it's a responsibility, right? Like I think it's a part of society. I feel like it's my responsibility. It's a part of, whether with the family, with the business, with all of the stuff that you're doing. Yeah. The give back to people is woven into it. All of it. Right? I think that has to be, I don't think that can be separate from. And I just believe that as adults, being responsible, having been invested in, I believe that it is my responsibility to also reseed and reinvest. Because if you don't, the garden goes dry and no one eats, right? And so what I did was, dude, especially when Detroit was going through bankruptcy, you know what I said? I said, how do I give back to my city with the thing that I do and what I love? So I use photography to give back. Right. So if we can find innovative ways to give back, to create ways for kids to buy into, I would admonish every single person out there who's a business person, find ways to do career days. Right. Yeah. Go present to kids, invite a kid to a work day, whatever. Right. I know I waste a ton of money on food, right, or fast food. Right. I decided one day I was going to take that money and buy a pair of shoes, right, because I know that there's a kid out there suffering without clothes or the right size shoes, right? Find that kid. I believe our responsibility, man, I'm getting emotional.
I love it.
I believe, and this is a challenge that I took on, and this is what I challenge everybody with. Yeah. There is need in the world. And although there might not be much need in our personal circles or vicinities or communities, I believe that it is our responsibility to find where there is need, find it, and make sure you give to it. It is a the word that I'm looking for specifically. It is aggressive is the word I'm using. I don't think it's the word I really want to use.
Okay.
But you have to go and do it on purpose.
Right.
If that makes sense. Right. You have to be mindful to go and find where there is need in your community, in your areas, and serve that need, because that's just how society should work.
That's beautiful.
Rock that.
I mean, you're not kidding. It's and I love the fact that you're showing the vulnerable side of you and saying I'm emotional, getting emotional, because that just demonstrates the passion and the true authentic self that side of you that you have. And I think that's a beautiful. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I'm nowhere near as selfless as you and some of my other guests, and it's not by I don't know. I'm trying to be more aware of my community. I'm trying to do stuff. It's kind of new to me, to be honest. I never really. So this year I made some goals to get more involved in outreach and trying to figure that out. And this show is part one to that strategy.
Yes. Yeah. Give Mark a round of applause. Real talk. Thank you for your honesty, Mark. Like really. But you know what? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
If we're honest with ourselves, nobody on earth is perfect. No judgment at all, right? And I think that we inspire each other.
Absolutely.
Right? I think that people inspire people, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, dude. Like, thank you for inviting me on. Thank you for doing this. I was like, this is dope. You don't know the number of people that you're inspiring by just doing the Imagine Better podcast, right? This is a dope show. And so here we are. And if one person says, you know what, I'm going to do a career day, or I'm going to give $25 to a cause at a school that'll help a kid.
Yeah.
Dude, it don't take much to inspire these little kids.
No.
Oh my God. It doesn't take much at all. If we can show up a little bit, man, we will change the face of the globe.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. Talk.
So as we wrap up episode 6 here, what's next for Shawn Lee? Like, where in your journey for this year? Do you see you just continuing the legacy that you're building, or is there something that you're really trying to strive for? Maybe it's a reach, but that's your goal next. I mean, do we have that?
Dude, I will tell you this. I'm getting ready to get married.
Congratulations.
Getting married. Beautiful woman. Her name is Tay Ford.
Tay Ford?
Yep, Tay Ford.
Hey, Tay Ford.
Yeah, we're getting married.
Great guy here.
We're getting married in August.
Nice.
And she is...
Who's going to do your photography?
She right. So we're still figuring that out, right?
What have you mentored? Students.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're talking
should be a
about
competition
that.
through the Shawn Lee photography thing. There's you get some people to submit, and the winner gets to be your photographer.
And that could be dope. Rock that.
That could be a cool idea.
We'll see. I'll actually look at that, man. Very cool.
I hope you shape the idea more.
What up, though? But man, so we're getting married, and we've talked a lot about give back and foundational stuff and what we're going to do. A lot of what we do is built around youth, so building programming. I'm continuing my conference, which is a Rock That Photography Conference and trade show. It's going to be in 2025. It's going to be our 10-year effort with inclusion and diversity in the industry of photography. Right?
Congratulations.
So thank you. We've greatly diversified it, and so in the spirit of that, the 2025 conference will be free.
Wow, you hear that, guys?
It'll be, yes.
That's beautiful.
It will be free for anybody who is interested in photography, all that stuff. We also partner with the NSO, Neighborhood Service Organization, which serves our homeless population. Okay. So as a conference, I make it a point to do social good. Right. And so we don't just focus on photography. We don't just focus on the gift of and the craft of photography. We focus on social good as a part of what we do. We focus on the individuals, the people, continuing to build the community while building the business. I am continuing to grow as a speaker. The same message, right, is inspiration and growing. We've just started Detroit HR Detroit. Disrupt HR Detroit.
Disrupt
HR Detroit, which is in the HR space, which is different from photography now.
Yeah.
But because human resource people deal with a lot. They watch this.
Shaping mindsets.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Human people, those who are in human resources they have in their hands the things that people care about the most, which is their livelihood.
Right.
They see the best and the worst of people.
Yeah.
Right. And so being in the human resource space and making sure we do stuff like care for the caregiver, right, and inspiring them to be an inspiration because they have direct contact to be able to impact people's futures, right, livelihoods and all of that stuff. It's something that I want to do, diversifying that and bringing inspiration to the HR space with the Disrupt HR Detroit is something that we're going to do. That is October 3rd, 2024 at the GM Theater down at the Center for Creative Studies.
Okay.
The Taubman Design Center is going to be amazing. We're expecting about 350 people.
Oh, beautiful.
On a huge stage at the GM Auditorium, which will be really, really cool. So that I'm continuing on and doing.
Okay.
And then me getting with the wife, future wife, and us deciding what that life looks like for our family, our business, and then how we build foundation.
Oh, I love it.
Foundational give back down the road. So
no, that's awesome.
Rock that.
This is gonna be awesome. If there's anything that I can do through Imagine Better to help with your efforts in the communities, I would like to reach that. I'd say right now, this is the next evolution for my show, is to take it from this and actually, how do we take the resources that this show has brought and bring it to the stages, bring it to the community, bring it to the different charitable, opportunities that are out there. I want to do this stuff, and I don't, I guess the only way I can say that is, hey, I'm here I am. If there's anything I can do, I would love to get involved.
I would love
some way, somehow.
Let's synergize that, Mark. I would love to, man, because it's needed everywhere, right? Yeah. And when you say I raise my hand and I'm here, you don't have to. We're not asking you to toe the line that's going to burn your hands, right? I'm asking you to maybe there's a place where you can volunteer for 30 minutes.
I would love it.
That would make a total complete difference in that environment, and we do it within the environment where you reside. Right. So it means something to you. And it means something to whether it's the kids in that neighborhood, whether it's the elderly in that neighborhood, whether it's the veterans, whatever, right? I think that would be really, really cool, man.
So what I'll do, guys, is I will get a list of charity efforts that you have, that you believe in the city of Detroit.
Yes.
And how can we, the audience, all of us, help Shawn with his efforts? If it's raising funds, if it's volunteering, whatever it may be. If you're interested in that, drop in the comments, in the description when this goes, when it airs next week on our YouTube channel. I will collaborate with you and get some URLs and things, some information. Okay. And let's support Shawn and his efforts as a birthday gift to him. Let's give to his hard work and effort across the city of Detroit and all the work that you're doing, man.
You rock. Now,
no, that rock that.
Can we do this? So I know today's my birthday.
Yeah.
But the 19th this airs, right?
It airs.
Can I forward the special for your audience?
Absolutely.
In your name?
Yeah.
Can we do that in the Imagine Better Mark Powers name, right? And you let me know how you need that formatted and done. But because I'm turning 49, we're offering headshots for $49.
Yeah.
So they're regularly $350, but if it means something to somebody and they want their image cared about, right? And they don't want just a shot.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And all of that stuff, we'll do it that way.
Absolutely. Cool? I would love that. And you guys, again, thank you for supporting this show. We're just getting started. Week over week, we have a great lineup. I mean, come on. Mr. Shawn Lee in the house took time out of his day on his birthday. 29. 49. But, Shawn, thanks for celebrating your birthday with me, brother.
You rock, man.
Thank you. And happy birthday.
This guy is awesome. Give this guy a round of applause.
I appreciate it.
Support the Imagine Better podcast, Money.
Thank you.
Imagine Better podcast. If you imagine it, you can do it.
Absolutely, man. And remember, this guy is working really hard to empower the next generation. Let's support his efforts as well. You guys make it a great day. Imagine better. Go out there and kick some ass in life, you guys. Thank you. We love you.
What up, dog?
There you go. It's episode 6. Whoop, whoop.